In a few billion years, our galaxy may meet another enormous galaxy, Andromeda. Two spiral galaxies filled with hundreds of billions of stars are slowly moving toward each other at about 110 kilometers per second. It sounds like a cosmic disaster. Two galaxies on a collision course, stars crashing into each other, explosions across the sky, the end of the Milky Way. But the reality is much stranger. Because when the Milky Way and Andromeda meet, it is very likely that almost no stars will collide directly. Not our Sun, not the stars in Andromeda. So what actually happens when two galaxies collide? And what would the night sky look like if someone were there to watch it? The Milky Way is our home galaxy. It contains hundreds of billions of stars, enormous amounts of gas, dust, dark matter, and a supermassive black hole at its center. Our Sun is not near the center of the galaxy. It sits in one of the spiral arms, far from the galactic core. Andromeda, also known as M31, is the closest large galactic neighbor of the Milky Way. It is about 2.5 million light-years away. That means the light we see from it today left Andromeda long before modern humans existed. Under a dark sky, far from light pollution, Andromeda can be seen with the naked eye as a faint, blurry patch. But that patch is not standing still. Andromeda is moving closer. According to classic estimates, the Milky Way and Andromeda may meet in about 4 to 5 billion years. Newer calculations show that the exact outcome is still somewhat uncertain, because other galaxies in our local group also affect the motion of both galaxies. But if this cosmic scenario happens, it will not be a quick explosion. It will be a slow gravitational dance lasting billions of years. The greatest paradox of this collision is this: the galaxies will collide, but the stars mostly will not. The reason is simple. Space is emptier than we can easily imagine. Stars are huge, but the distances between them are even larger. If we shrank the Sun down to the size of an orange, the nearest star would be thousands of kilometers away. So even when two galaxies full of stars pass through each other, direct collisions between stars are extremely unlikely. Our solar system would probably not be destroyed by crashing into another star. Instead, the gravity of the entire collision could move it into a different orbit. It might end up farther from the center of the new galaxy. It might be pushed into the outer regions. In some scenarios, it could even be thrown into intergalactic space. Not because it hit something, but because the gravity of two enormous galaxies would rewrite the orbits of billions of stars at once. The first major effect would not be stars colliding. It would be the movement of gas and dust. Unlike stars, gas clouds inside galaxies are huge and spread out. When the galaxies begin to overlap, these clouds can compress, mix, and collide. And that can trigger a massive wave of new star formation. This is called a starburst. Galaxies that once formed stars at a calmer pace may suddenly begin creating millions of new stars. The sky would change very slowly, but dramatically. Andromeda would no longer be a faint patch. It would gradually grow larger. Its spiral arms would stretch across the night sky. Star clouds, streams of gas, and new star-forming regions would create glowing arcs unlike anything we see from Earth today. For someone who could live long enough to watch millions of years pass, the night sky would look like a slowly changing cosmic theater. But the galaxies would not merge instantly. First, they would approach each other. Then they would pass through each other. Then they would move apart again, and gravity would pull them back together. This process could repeat several times. With each pass, their original shapes would become more distorted. Spiral arms would stretch. Stars would scatter into long streams. And the two galaxies would begin forming one shared system. Eventually, the Milky Way and Andromeda would lose their original spiral shapes. Two galaxies would become one larger galaxy. Scientists sometimes informally call it Milkomeda or Milkdromeda. It would not be the Milky Way. It would not be Andromeda. It would be a new galaxy formed from both of them. It would probably have a more elliptical or irregular shape, without the beautiful spiral arms we know today. And at its center, another extreme process would unfold. The Milky Way has a supermassive black hole in its core. It is called Sagittarius A star, and it has a mass of about 4 million suns. Andromeda also has a supermassive black hole, probably even more massive. As the galaxies merge, their central black holes would slowly move closer together. It would not happen immediately. It could take millions or even billions of years, but eventually they may merge into one even more massive black hole. That event would send out gravitational waves, gentle ripples in space and time itself, spreading through the universe. But for the galaxy as a whole, the biggest change would not be a single explosion. It would be the transformation of its entire shape. A long, slow process in which two spiral galaxies become one new galactic home. But what about Earth? Here comes the strange twist. The collision between the Milky Way and Andromeda may happen around the same era when our Sun is also changing. The Sun will gradually become brighter. Long before it becomes a red giant, Earth may already become too hot for life as we know it. The oceans may begin to evaporate, the climate will change, and the surface of the planet may become uninhabitable. Later, in several billion years, the Sun will begin turning into a red giant. Its outer layers will expand, and the inner solar system will change dramatically. Earth may be swallowed, or it may survive as a scorched, dead world. So while the galaxies perform their cosmic dance, our own planet will probably no longer be home to blue oceans, forests, and cities. But if some future civilization could leave Earth and watch this event from a safe distance, it would see something extraordinary. Two galaxies stretching, deforming, mixing, and eventually becoming one. So when the Milky Way and Andromeda collide, it will not be a simple cosmic explosion. Most stars will never touch, but gravity will slowly reshape both galaxies. New stars may form, spiral arms will fade, and eventually, two galaxies may become one. By then, Earth will probably no longer be the world we know today. Even galaxies change, if you give the universe enough time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.